All right guys, so most of you will probably remember just how excited I was to start styling caps back in the day when I had long hair, but I was just about to get it cut. Well, to be honest, that was pretty short-lived because I quickly realized that every single cap that I tried on, I literally hated how I looked. So after a lot of trial and error, I finally realized why I looked bad in caps, what makes or what I feel makes the perfect cap, and just a few little things to help you lot along your way. I've got to warn you though, these things, these become addictive. Once you find that perfect fitting hat, you literally never take them off. So let's just say you've been warned. This one, by the way, as you can see, this is from Studio de Jour, my clothing brand, and I might be biased, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's a final sample. It's just gone into production and I cannot wait to drop them. They're due to launch at the end of September, so get that penciled in your diaries because I think these will fly. But yeah, guys, cap shopping, it can be pretty daunting simply because of how many styles, how many shapes, and how many colors there are. There's a lot to choose from. But hopefully after today's video, you'll be able to kind of narrow that down and just figure out what cap suits you best. I've said this before, but I honestly feel like a cap is an amazing accessory to easily elevate a simple outfit. I literally talked about this over on my Instagram recently, just showing how a cap with a nice pop of color can really level up a simple outfit, just like you can see here. All right, so like I said before, choosing your cap really can be pretty overwhelming just because of the huge variety that you have to choose from. You've got 5-panel caps, 6-panel caps, trucker caps, dad caps, straight brim, curved brim, low profile caps, medium profile caps. The list literally goes on. Now, firstly, let's just kind of dive into the panels. This is, obviously just personal preference, but I would always opt for a 5-panel cap over a 6-panel cap. I think that the overall shape of a 5-panel cap is so much better. I also love that it kind of generates this point at the top of the cap here. I'm not too sure if the camera picks it up, but having that 5-panel just generates the point at the top here. And overall, it just kind of adds to that on-trend dad style aesthetic. And not only that, 5-panel caps are so much better if the hat has some kind of branding on as well. As you can see here, this hat from my brand, it's got the Studio de Jour embroidery across the front panel. Now, if this was a 6-panel cap, this would have, can you see on the side there that it has the kind of stitching going right down the panel? Well, it would have stitching going right down the front there, and obviously that would go straight through the embroidery, kind of mess up the branding, and in my opinion, just makes the overall cap look a little bit cheap. So yeah, if you have been kind of trying 6-panel caps and you just feel like something's not quite right, you don't quite like how they look, switch that out for a 5-panel and see how you get on with that. Because honestly, as soon as I switched to 5-panel caps, it made all the difference. 6-panel caps do tend to be a little bit more kind of rounded throughout, whereas 5-panel caps do tend to have that more kind of on-trend, squared off, I guess kind of dad style aesthetic. Okay, so the next thing that you want to be kind of contemplating or thinking about when it comes to choosing out your cap is your head size. Now, hear me out, it might sound a little bit weird. There's no other way to put it. If your head is on the smaller side of things, then you might want to kind of contemplate going for a low profile cap. These sit a little bit closer and more snug to your head, and also they don't come as low down to your ear. However, I would say that the most popular and I guess safest option here would be the medium profile caps. I guess it's, kind of obvious, but the medium profile cap is probably the best option, or is the best option for you kind of average / medium head size dudes. The medium profile cap is probably the most popular. This one that I'm wearing here from my brand, this would be classed as a medium profile cap because the measurements from the peak here to the highest point of like the body of the cap is 3.5 inches. So that's classed as a medium profile, and I think those kind of measurements for me personally are perfect. I would definitely say that the medium profile cap is probably the kind of safest and most reliable option out there. If you're somebody that is maybe, not too sure what size to go for, not too sure if your head is on the bigger side or the smaller side of things, if you're not too sure, go in the middle, opt for a medium profile cap, because that's the safest option. Then you of course have the high profile caps, but honestly, these are easily my least favorite. They may be a good option for people that have a slightly larger head, but honestly, I am not a fan of these. I don't like the overall shape. I feel like they kind of just take over your head too much. And yeah, personally, I'm not keen, and I'm just gonna skip right past it. Also, it's probably worth me mentioning that pretty much all these caps come either structured or unstructured. So this is an example of a structured hat. As you can see, this is also a 6-panel hat because you can see that stitching or those panels, the separation in the panels down the middle. So this is, well, I guess this is partly structured on the front here. Obviously it's not on the back, but that is structured, and that is what an unstructured cap looks like. It's just pure flop. And then we of course have different peaks as well. Some have curved peaks and some have straight peaks. Honestly, with this one, I actually think there's a place for both. Maybe not completely straight. I feel like those are a little bit outdated, but this one here, for example, this sample from my brand Studio de Jour, this one came completely straight, but I just put a very small amount of shape into the peak, not the biggest amount, but just the smallest little bit of shape. And that honestly makes all the difference. I've actually just switched them around just so you guys can get a good kind of understanding and a good look of how they look on. But this kind of peak, for me, it gives off a little bit more of a kind of vintage 90s aesthetic. And then this one, this sample that I've been wearing throughout the entire video, this I opted for that slightly curved peak. And I feel like this is the kind of most popular option. This is the option that I guess appeals to the mass. One thing that I will say though is don't overdo it when rounding off your peak. Don't be one of those people that round it that much, it turns into a triangle. The last thing that I want to mention here, the finishing touch to your cap is your choice of adjustment on the back, or I guess lack of sometimes, because you do have the option of the fitted cap. These literally don't have any kind of adjustment whatsoever on the back. The downside to these is you do need to know your exact hat size. So obviously this could be a little bit of a pain. And then you of course have that snapback option. This gives you that option or the kind of ability to adjust sizes. To be honest, not really too much to say, just your average kind of option when it comes to adjustment finishes. But I think the best option, the most accurate option, the highest quality option would be the buckle. I think the buckle, like I said, just gives you that freedom of being the most accurate. But on top of that, I feel like these give you the better high quality luxury finish as well. If you're spending, a decent amount of money on a cap, you want it to have that buckle adjustment finish, just to give it that ultimate kind of luxury feel. So guys, to break that down, what do I feel is the best all-round cap? Well, like I said before, the good news is I personally feel like I've designed it right here. You want to start with a medium 5-panel cap. You want a slightly curved hem, not too much, but slightly curved. And then you of course want to finish it off with the buckle adjustment on the back. Honestly, put all those things together and I feel like you've got the best all-round cap. You are not gonna look bad in that. So yeah guys, these caps from my brand Studio de Jour that I have included right here, these are going to be included in the drop that is at the end of September. I have got a launch coming hopefully at the end of this month in about 2 weeks. But these are going to be in a drop at the end of September, so definitely kind of pencil that in your diaries. But yeah, guys, I hope you lot enjoyed this video. I absolutely loved filming it. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, as always, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you are new, drop a comment down below. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's basically a daily vlog, and I will see you lot next Sunday. Peace.